This is the Podcast of Owls, episode number 14 for the week of May 15th, 2018. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Podcast of Owls, your one-stop podcast for RuneScape quests, lore, future updates, and much, much more. I am your host, Crondis, and this week I am joined by Amascut.
Hello.
Avernic.
No, I'm Walter.
And we have a Walter in the chat. Guys, it's not that big of a week this week. I think we're talking about one thing.
I would make a joke about this probably being our shortest podcast ever, but I already predict us spending like 50 minutes arguing about things in that book, so.
Oh yeah,
We'll
definitely.
see.
I mean,
I think
we totally
could
might,
definitely-
but we could still ramble for 50 minutes and it'd still be our shortest podcast, so. We tend to ramble a lot, Fang.
Not me, what?
That's the point. The point is to ramble.
That is true. That would be the point of a podcast.
Should we rename this to the Bird Durot Ramble?
Oh,
Yes.
I bet that's a minigame people forgot existed because everybody thinks of it as temple trekking.
That's totally a minigame people forgot existed.
Because everybody thinks it's all just temple trekking. Nah. There did not used to be a return.
I
That
mean,
was-
it is technically temple trafficking.
That was
Just-
back
it's-
in my day.
It's the
It's-
reverse of temple trekking, thank you.
Back in my
It's
day.
literally opposite temple trekking.
Get off my
Yeah, no,
lawn.
It used to just be one way. There was not the other way.
Oh, I know that, but I don't even
Well,
call
but-
the way back Bird Durot Ramble.
Nobody
It's-
does. Nobody does.
Alright, this is way off topic.
Why don't we just talk about the mental health awareness and the patch notes in this spot?
Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah, so we can do that over in Le News.
Alright, so it's Mental Health Awareness Week in the United Kingdom, focusing on stress this year. And so Jagex has done another little event with 2 cute pets to get, as well as some banners and some weapons. Focusing on, I believe it's the YMCA, the Prince's Trust, and what was the third one? It's shockingly hard to find. There we go. And Mind as well, CPSL. So yeah, just honestly, I'm really only bringing this up so that everybody's aware of it. Good on you, Jagex, for continuing to support these charities. Good work. If our viewers, any of our viewers, are feeling stressed and so on this week, this is the week to be aware of it.
Go.
It's very entertainingly coincidental that it's like a week or two after finals.
Yeah. I could have used that during finals week.
I
'cause,
know.
Yeah.
You know.
These things are
But
planned out.
they got the charity tokens in game, so go nuts.
Yay. Token of
Patch notes wise, they fixed up a couple things in You Are It.
Uh-huh. There's
They
new
made some tweaks to a couple clue scrolls things, such as blue now displaying your total clues while using as a familiar.
Is the beginning still, like, completely garbled? Like everything just saying you're it on the quest screen?
Oh, let me check actually.
we should
I assume it's
believe
not.
that was removed this week because Ozzy said that was just for this week.
start
Yeah.
point McGruber's Wood.
Okay, yeah.
Requirements none, length short, required items a rope.
Yeah, look at that. Nice.
I like how I thought it would be more than just McGruber's Wood.
This specific tree in McGruber's wood. The following coordinates.
Interesting.
We
Yeah.
need to see if they took our advice and put a sign or something on the tree.
Oh.
Probably.
I'm
actually,
gonna
I'm
assume
check it
no,
now.
but
I'm gonna assume no, but
Some additional big stuff. They put the blight bolts on the Lost Grove creatures in preparation for Solak.
yay, tier 92
Yay.
ammo.
Tutorial Island.
oh,
found a
Walter's right. They
tutorial.
might put that blue box thing on it for the guide in a quest.
Oh yeah, they already. Yeah, I would assume they do.
I don't like that.
Tutorial Island is now the default tutorial if they say new or returner option at character
Eh.
creation.
For any player.
Yeah, for any player.
So is Ashdale just chunked now?
It still exists.
It still exists.
I mean, obviously the island's still there, but the tutorial bit.
No,
I'm not sure.
You can
I
play
don't.
the tutorial through.
Okay, cool.
So
Great.
That's a thing.
The 3 different pig familiars life points actually scale with level now, so yay, they don't suck as much. Stuns are now cleared when transitioning from Telos phase 4 to 5. Cool. I assume that's nice for like dodging falling rocks and stuff.
Yay.
Oh, they changed floor 60 to now have a chance to drop Emin Thought Part 10 and Mysterious Chronicle 30. It was oddly absent from that floor for some reason, and it took them like 8 years to change that, but yay!
There was a change to Friends chat where you can no longer speak if you have less than 150 total level and aren't a member. To stop spamming.
Yeah. You can keepsake the Kerosis necklace, and they have a really lovely pun in here for actually the thing about the UR quest journal. You are in the know. The quest journal for UR has been updated with information. Somebody was very proud of that joke. I appreciate you, whomever you are. Mysterious punster.
Yeah, so those are patch notes. They exist every week.
Yeah.
Cool.
We should probably move on to the other thing.
Yep, so I don't believe there's anything else to talk about. So over to our actual topic that actually matters. Alright, so we've got the Overgrown Idols, whatever you want to call them.
Overgrown Idols.
They are essentially Ivy, but not shit.
They're Ivy, but you have to walk in a circle.
Yeah.
They're level 81, not 68.
That too.
They're exactly...
have a lore book, and the one unique thingy is that they give you some buffs once you get to the middle and clear it. It kind of diversifies training a little bit, where it's now very optimal to go to idols, get a buff, and then go do some of your training, and then keep cycling back to idols, or even staying at idols and making use of the buffs there.
Really, what I think you do, if it were me, at not level 120 woodcutting, is there's 5 buffs. You can get the log auto banking, which porters exist. You can get the 5% XP.
Hey,
boost.
but it's free.
It's free for 15 minutes. You get 5% XP boost, 10% chance to get double logs, 10% increased chance to woodcutting success, or the one you actually care about, the double cut rate. Everything takes 2 ticks instead of 4. That's the one I think you leave for. The other ones you just kind of stick around and keep doing your AFK stuff.
Pretty much.
But if you get that double, you run over to crystallize Acadias if you can, or golden bamboo, or crystal trees, or whatever else you can do. That's if you can do anything else better.
Whatever your little heart desires.
Because that one just doubles yield, it doubles experience. Bonkers.
Yeah.
I think this update achieved what it wanted to do.
Yeah.
It filled in that gap for AFK training woodcutting. It was 13 levels higher than Ivy and 13 levels lower than crystal trees.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good update for that mid-high range.
It's super low-key. It's got a good lore book attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
The buffs are small, but like worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. There's so little to discuss with.
I personally have no use for them, but if I was back in the day of training woodcutting, I would definitely be doing these instead of
like if I
Arctic Pine.
If I ever choose to go for woody, like this will be the way I'll do part of it.
You still have to get bubbles first.
Weekly
bubbles update still not obtained.
Yeah, still no bubbles. I'm fully expecting to get woody through golden bamboo before I get bubbles. Being totally honest,
entirely possible. Yeah,
it's entirely plausible.
Yeah, but this is totally cool. It's just like we're having these strings of small to medium level sized skilling updates coming out. This ended up being on the smaller side, like the fire making, but still all really good stuff.
Yeah, like we said last time, I'm loving this. Like, I have absolutely nothing to complain about with these. I think it's great that they're continuing to really put such a great focus on varied skilling. And this is just another nice way to add a little bit more variety and fill in some skill gaps. Good job.
Now, make something that's in a skill that I want to train, because I don't have 120 in it, please.
Yeah, like I don't know, hunter. Give me some non-shit hunter.
Some AFK hunter. That's what
Some not my hand hurts hunter.
We just got for thieving.
It doesn't even need to be AFK. It just needs to not be so much right and left clicking.
Although I believe divination's the next one that's getting hit up.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I forget where I saw that, but I definitely saw it somewhere. I'm trying to remember where now.
I wonder why. I feel like Memorial to Gothics kind of did a lot.
Because I think it did really well in that backlog poll.
That's fair. I wonder if they'll make use of the bonus circles like they did in the Cavern of Lost.
That'd be nice.
Tainted Memories, whatever the fuck it is. I suggested using it just because I think it's actually a pretty cool mechanic, like all things considered.
Was it said in last week's stream? I'm not sure. I know I heard it. I
don't know if you're crazy or not, but I hope you're not, because okay.
That might be the next one. Anywho.
You know what, now that you mention that, I feel like I remember something about it, but let's move on.
As a small aside before we keep moving, do you think these are taking the place of that wood-cutting pyramid plunder thing that they had pitched a while back?
No, I think this was...
Yes and no.
I feel like it does the job to an extent. It's just not the time-based bullshit.
Yeah, I feel like it fills that sort of...
It did everything we wanted that to do, except put a ziggurat in the jungle.
Yeah, still need to do that.
But it gave us the woodcutting diversity in Karamja with the lore.
Yeah.
So
I would still love to see,
Yeah, if they want
plunder, but
if you want to build up the Karamja as like the woodcutting hub, and you have the mechanics of these idols as the basis for that minigame, that'd be really cool. Like these are just sitting outside of the temple, and then inside you have like the more complex sort of thing going on. But these are the AFK options just outside.
Sure, I'd be all about that.
Yeah, same way. All right, but getting into the part of this update that we actually care about, the lore book.
It's a big book.
Oof.
We've been getting a lot of books.
Oof. This is wow.
What was that reaction?
This is reveal after reveal.
It really is. It's reveal after reveal after reveal, and question and question, and oh my god.
It's a reveal about a potentially new world.
Let's just pause. Let's just pause for a second and realize
3 new demigods.
We have a question answered that has been lingering for about 6 years now.
5.
The god with the name on the map is Karazi.
As I theorized,
as we all thought it was going to be. Let's be honest. We all thought it was going to be Karazi.
It was either Karazi or they were going to find some way to make Kenneth a god and find his name on the...
Oh god, that would be terrible.
In the corner this entire time.
I remember somebody on future updates was certain Kenneth was going to become a god.
Oh god.
I just remember the jokes that the god's name was Lumbridge, so...
No, his name was just Lou. L-U. Technically, his name's on the map.
But no, Karazi was a good one.
It's the elder god Lum.
Or his name was just on the map.
Oh god.
So the first thing that hits me with the first paragraph of this book is the 3 gods are
demigods. They are demigods.
Demigods. Are all related to stuff we know about.
Things, whatever. Yeah. So
Shaika the Shaikahan, Karazi the jungle, and Roharni the wildcats.
These are all definitely strongly tied.
Now let's wonder, how long have they had that planned out? Clearly Karazi's been planned out for a while, but how long do you think they have Roharni and Shaika planned out?
I'm fairly sure that Shaika's been planned for a while as well, since the Shaikahan's been a thing. I feel like Roharni is brand new, since Osborne recently asked on Twitter what the
I was thinking the same thing
was.
What he was asking, or he was asking what animal they were made from the pelts of. So
yeah.
Well, that's been in the game for a while.
It's been in the game for a while, but Osborne didn't know about it.
And it was a single line of dialogue, not even related to Karamja.
I like it so much better as a trio than a duo, though, because we have so many duos.
Oh, I mean,
it's definitely better as a trio.
I expected it to be a trio. However, I thought the third one would be Brudu, and it would be villainous.
Possible.
Well, we knew it was going to be a trio of some sort, because the Taibuwana tribe, they use 3 colors for 3 different gods. So
yeah, exactly. But I always expected it to be Karazi, something related to the Shaikahan, because we've heard that it's godlike and protected. And then I expected the third one to have something to do with like voodoo or Brudu.
I was thinking it was just going to be Karazi and then like two gods that are just in the rest of the world, just kind of like
so turning it into Raharni is interesting, but for people like us who pay attention to this sort of thing, it definitely feels like the other two were more planned out than that one.
Yeah, I like Raharni as like the god of like the animal god, which I think we don't have yet.
I don't really have a complaint about it. It's all just these guys where it kind of stands out as being like, oh, this one just got tossed in there too.
They all really
that's exactly what I was thinking. Is okay, they've got these two, but this one's definitely like the one they just threw.
It's not a bad thing. It's just kind of like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, one of those like creative writing process things that you just pick up on.
Yeah, it was a good way to kind of pull that idea in.
I'm not gonna complain though. Like I like they did something with that name, and it's not just
again like I don't have a complaint about it. I think it's
especially if we're gonna get that Raharni Wildcat quest, not quest thing or
please make it a real quest.
We'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to that because this.
I mean, we've kind of already like gone on a big tangent about that in the past podcast, like a big rant, but whatever.
Yeah, but little tangent about. I'll just go into it now. Is we have these three gods now, and we have what's the best way to put this? We have the Raharni quests like built up, and we have these two other gods that we should include in like quests of their own. It's like the perfect structure for their own story.
See, I'm gonna disagree with this in the sense that I don't think they all need their own quest. Like, they don't feel like they're fleshed out enough or important enough to have a quest apiece.
I think that they can definitely be important enough. They could definitely figure out their own story.
I don't know. I think I'd rather it as just one quest where you're going through all three. Yes. And just have it as a bigger quest instead of three. Here's this random demigod thing that you're going to explore now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the bigger quest thing is a thing that a lot of resources. B, it's a thing that has been very prevalent in like especially the 6-stage quest. Is you have this big event and you move on to the next big event. And there's no real build up. Like the Slisky's endgame stuff, there was build up, but it was all like
distinct. But it was all build up that then wasn't paid off in the quest.
It was like you had Elegy over in this corner, and you had Children of Ma in this corner, and Kindred Spirits in that corner. And
we're gonna build up all this stuff. Slisky's gonna appear as two boss fights. Slisky's gonna appear as a boss fight, and he's not gonna participate, even though the scoreboard said he would. Here's
and we get to fight Nomad twice.
Yeah, let's throw Linza in there for good measure. Oh, Marimbo and Brassica, they're gonna just fuck off.
When's the last time we had a quest series? Started.
You mean a start of a quest series? You Are It.
Yeah, last week.
We've gotten some structure.
You pulled that one on yourself.
He's got real trivia.
I want to see these quest series become and progress.
I mean, I agree, but I don't.
When you ask when's the last time we've seen a quest series wrap up, Pieces of Paint. The quest before the last.
I just don't think that.
Ones was the Marek series.
I just don't think that it's necessarily needed to be 3 separate quests for these guys. I think
it also depends on the scope of what these gods actually do.
Especially if they're not like full-scale gods. If they're just demigods, it's like I don't know.
Like, hey, I'm willing. Like, I'm not gonna complain about getting quests and all, but like
I'm not gonna complain about getting quests. If we get one apiece, fine. I just feel like that might be beating the dead horse a bit.
I will also add the desert gods are actually important to the desert. It's like they've been a part of the desert and have an active presence in the desert.
Yeah, and those are all about
it is 2018, and this is the first time we've officially heard these gods' names. Clearly, they do not have much of a presence in Crondis.
If Do No Evil wasn't desert padding, I don't know what was.
Do No Evil was great, though.
Great.
It was great.
I don't even call it desert padding. We literally had the whole setup that the gods were trapped for a long time.
But then you have
been going through the whole time, like breaking Amaskut's curses.
You have like you gotta lure the banana guard out, and you have to go pickpocket and steal a bunch of knives. You have to go over to Ava first.
Well, yeah, because they took a minute to
planning.
actually tie Apatol together into the quest.
But you could do that with Karanja as well.
Okay, but what would you tie in?
You have the one with all the Raharni stuff going on the.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell that is.
We find out that Karazi actually had her sight stolen, and monkeys ended up leaving and went to Apatol, and now the Apatol monkeys.
I mean, hey, here's a thought. What if we do a quest about the Vaku for Karazi?
Yes.
There you go.
Look at that. Look at that. Everything just turned around there.
I'm a sucker for Vaku lore. So.
You know, I was literally sitting here like, what the hell is noticeable about, or notable about the Karazi jungle? I'm like, oh yeah, demons, Vaku. Let's go Vaku.
Yeah, let's go Vaku.
Definitely do that, and then for the Shaika one, you have like you tie up all like the Taibawani village stuff and
there's some loose ends there,
and then you culminate it all into a giant Papa Mamba boss battle.
Okay. You know what? I've been.
Walter said the interesting thing in Karazi is clue scrolls.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
I mean, but, they just made poorly underuse of Karazi. So
when we were discussing things initially, I said that Papo Mambo could potentially make a very interesting villain. Because Timbo's been wanting to do Karamja and like Mambo story for ages. Back when all of these livid, Jade Vine stories or updates were all coming out around the same time, the developer of them actually did an interview and said that he was planning out a quest for it too, and then nothing ever came of it.
I think I was part of this, yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. But the more I think about it, I actually think a more compelling and interesting villain for the series would be some remaining Vaku. Yeah. I think that's a very strong hook. It would flesh out an incredibly obscure corner of the Karamja lore. And I think Mambo and Mama Rimby or Mami Rimba could still be like tied into things, but I would really love to see the Vaku as a primary focus in a quest somewhere. And I think Karamja Demigods is a good clash there.
I'm fine with getting more Papa Mambo stuff. I just don't know if he'd be a villain. Like, he's never been antagonistic towards us.
Not towards us, sure, but he literally got kicked out of Shiloh Village because he's a vile necromancer.
Well, just that he is a necromancer. But that doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
True, Malignus...
he can be whatever you want.
Either.
Yeah.
But I just like to see many... And these gods have, like, interesting aspects to them. Like, you have... Karazi is, like... has the musical biological power. How do we even describe the heart attack power?
I don't know. That's so odd.
But you totally
wait, guys! I just kind of realized something.
What?
Where the suns were two, the islands drifted, and the soil fell away like waterfalls. The gods of our land were born. Mother, father, and daughter they were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Family.
What? What is Papa slang for?
Father, why?
What is mommy slang for?
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Are you
saying these people are Papa Mambo and Mommy Rimba?
What if they are?
I mean, father. If you take them in like respectable
so
order.
father was Karazi.
Would be Karazi, which
mother was Mother Shaika.
Karazi. Mother would be Shaika, and Raharni would be daughter, which would be on that island off the middle of nowhere. The new one.
So mommy Rimba, yeah.
If it was mother and father to start with, or the duo, and then they added the daughter in, that makes sense.
I mean, I'd be okay with it.
It could be their incarnate. It could be their emissaries. That'd be a cool approach.
Yeah.
Wait. Karazi would be the Papa Mambo. What is he? He dances around and makes music, and Karazi was the.
But does he give you heart attacks?
Further, he does.
Dropped it gorgeous, so you know.
Further,
my heart stopped.
Some interesting things. Apparently, when you talk to her, there's a rumor that she used to have 20 children and several husbands, but killed them because they were making lots of noise one night. I don't really know what that means for us, but like.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's a rumor.
Her staff is very interesting. her eyes don't have pupils in the concept art.
If she's Shika, then she's the hunter one.
Oh, absolutely. Look at her. She's wearing a skull on her head and has a giant skull staff.
And she's making bolts, like you would use in hunting.
She holds a necklace that has, and again, I'm looking at concept art here. She's holding a necklace that has like a bird skull on it and all these hunter trophies all over her body. I wonder.
There's a lot you could do here.
You could definitely take that and run with it.
There's a lot of space.
Hell, if that's not even your plan, Jagex, take it and do it. But
I'm a little mad at myself for not thinking of that earlier, but I had the wiki open as I was reading stuff, and I checked on Papa Mambo to see if they had his dialogue there, or if I'd have to go read it myself.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw on the page it said something like, Papa is slang for dad. I'm like, oh, wait the fuck up. Hold up here. What if? But there's your resident theory for
the key to this plan is make the Raharni quest not level 99. And then
I also agree.
Make the Raharni quest level 90 and then
make it 80, high 80s to 90.
I think throw it at 80 since it's not like the end of it.
I think 87 would be the right place to put it.
I would be okay with 90.
I'd be okay with
it. They want this to be the Master Knight Hunter quest, whatever, put it at 90.
Forget the Master Hunter quest. It's just the Raharni quest at this point.
I mean, that's all we care about it for.
That's all we care about. So give it like the regular Master quest, like Master level quest.
Anyway, I'm really impressed that we literally haven't gotten past the first line of the book.
The first paragraph, and we're let's see, 25 minutes into the podcast.
So the actual god is Gara-Dul. These three are demigods.
Well, no. These three are
not yet. They're mortal.
They're mortal
right now. They're mortal, but. Well, it's funny because it says the gods of our land were born, mother, father, and daughter.
Okay, no. I think that's like a preface. Yeah, is that it's saying they were born.
Here's the thing: are they mortal if they've been tending to Gara-Dul for centuries?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if they're human, so
right.
We don't know what planet this is on, and this is kind of questionable about where.
And their life could also be
where the suns were to the islands drifted and the soil fell away like waterfalls.
Oh, so they're definitely gods. They're definitely some kind of demigod already.
Well, no, because they died of a disease.
They die and then they get their soul back.
And then they get their soul back, yeah.
But when you read through all of the stuff, it says that Shika, Karazi, and Raharni tended the great beast Gara-Dul, and they did so alone. The tribes stayed many islands away, many islands back. Remembering the songs of the elders, la-di-da-di-da, and it hadn't left his cave in centuries. There were none alive who knew the songs to be anything other than a word. So it's talking about that, and it's talking about the vermin, and then on Gara-Dul, and
so you're saying they obviously have been alive for a long time.
Yes, obviously they've been alive for a long time, but they can't be gods because they died.
What I'm saying though, gods can die. What I'm saying though is that they went to hunt Gara-Dul. And then it says Shika was a hunter. It was her traps that fed him, kept it alive with meat. It was her traps that tethered the tribespeople to the floor, blah, 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 blah. And then she, came and muled in the language of cats and, fucking killed them.
Okay.
I still think they can be... I think they're just super powerful.
They're just mortals that live a long time and are powerful.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think they're just,
we don't even know if they're humans. They could.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely probably not humans. Is what
they feel more divine.
They are probably spiritual.
I think they're more like a tier 7. They're
like I don't know. I can't see them as being anything other than because clearly they died by disease, which would be weird if a god could do that. And then they came back, so obviously their soul didn't get destroyed.
Their souls weren't.
But then also they were reborn flesh and bone, returning to the bodies that shared the strength of Gara-Dul.
Yeah, so
they already shared the strength of Gara-Dul.
I think that's more like
I think they meant after. Imbued. Yeah, their bodies are not imbued with it.
Anybody that hasn't read this, let's do a quick.
Summary. Let's actually go from the beginning.
Yeah, so basically, Shika, Karazi, and Raharni, are mother, father, and daughter. They tended this great god beast, Gara-Dul. And a plague begins passing from village to village, killing the strongest. And they built idols to gods, but it didn't seem to work. The plague shattered their religion and so on, and they blamed it to be vermin, and then finally they decided that it was Gara-Dul, that his breath was plague.
What a dick.
We never actually get resolution on that, whether it was him or not.
I think
we don't.
I think it's just a plague, and they're trying to explain, like,
Well, that is obviously where they're going, yeah, but...
So, a number of infected, I guess, or warriors who could hold a jale, which I assume is a weapon.
I assume it's something like a spear.
They were sent on a death act to hunt Gara-Dul and cut his head off. So they found a bridge, they crossed and burned it, because they didn't want anybody following them.
Apparently when you burn the bridge, the island starts to float away.
Yeah. And then, because these are floating islands. And then the mother, father, and daughter, Shaika, Karazi, and Raharni, basically stop the people trying to kill Gara-Dul, and yeah.
Right. So you have Shaika first, who is the hunter. She has the hunter powers, and she traps them all with traps and whatnot, and tries to kill them like that. Raharni controls the wildcats, so she has power over the animals. And then you have at the end is Kazari, who has
the best drummer alive.
Was able to drum people to have heart attacks.
Drum them
Which
to death.
is really awesome when you think
about it.
It's
very tribal feeling, like very...
Like, it talks about how her heart was, like, trying to keep pace with the drums.
Her body fell to the floor.
And then he sped up the drums, and her heart couldn't literally keep pace, and she just had a heart attack.
He clearly has level 120 in Bard.
Yeah.
Level 120 Bard.
But the tribespeople's disease passed to Shaika, Karazi, and Raharni, which makes me think it wasn't Gara-Dul that was the cause of the plague.
No.
Well, clearly they got it from the dead bodies, so...
Yeah. But then
they die.
Let's see, so all three of them, well, two of them died first, that being Raharni and Karazi. Shaika buried them in graves dug by Gara-Dul itself, so clearly it liked them.
It also talks about how Shaika, Karazi, and Raharni buried the bodies and then, like, pushed a raft of the wounded back to shore. Which
the raft is important.
Which will come up later when we talk about.
Yeah, but it says, Shaika followed soon after, proud of her family and embracing the honor that comes with death. Gara-Dul woke for long enough to prepare a grave for her between her husband and her daughter. He covered the grave and sighed. But centuries passed without the last bridge. Gara-Dul's island drifted. So basically, it's a big god beast. And he was forgotten, and he kind of like drifted away. There's still two sons, and he ended up dying.
He killed himself.
He was immortal. Yeah, he basically... I wouldn't even say he killed himself, but I feel like he...
No, he definitely did.
I think he's definitely...
No, because it says the god beast's thoughts wandered and its health faltered because it no longer has any...
Well, yes, but then he said...
tend to and care for it.
It chose the moment to pass.
Yeah, he said he chose the moment to pass. It had felt in a century... whatever.
Doesn't feel like
he found a way. He found a way to end his life, is what it's saying.
Yeah. And he died turning into, stone like a god would, and then... It says mana, but it's anima. Poured out, coursed into the ground, seeped into the graves, and then it says, in the spirit world, the mana lit the torches on the way to Hangaza, which I assume is
their
afterlife.
Yeah.
And then Shaika, Karazi, and Raharni came back to their bodies and were reborn as demigods. And then they built idols of Gara-Dul and decided to try and find themselves a new home, and now they're on Karanja.
Alright, so... let's go back up to the top for a second and discuss where the fuck is this happening at. So we've got a lot of hints and a lot of questions to go with those hints. So starting off, we have where the suns were two, the islands drifted, and the soil fell away like waterfalls. So obviously this is a planet that has two suns, and soil fell away like waterfalls makes this sound like floating planet. Or floating islands.
It sounds like floating islands in the sky.
In the sky, right.
But...
so people have already taken that and, like, latched onto the idea that it's Abana. Well, I guess it could be, but you have to remember Abana is not the only planet that has floating islands. We know Gielinor has it. We've
also never heard any reference to Abana having two suns, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I mean, that's also true. But, we know... I'm just putting out there that obviously Abana is not the only planet that has floating islands. So just saying that doesn't, automatically mean it's Abana. But, and then later on we have the thing about the raft, which we pointed out.
Yeah.
Unless this is a raft that flies, and they are just considering the edge of an island ashore, it sounds like they're talking about water.
How could they have a raft that flies unless it's like floating wood they're making it out of?
Because this isn't like a normal planet?
Obviously, but it's like...
Yeah, they can have...
Are they having floating islands while also having, like, floating water?
It's very confusing. Like, I can't tell if, like, they mean, like, this is on water and they're just not mentioning the water, or if, like, these are really high up islands that happen to be, like...
water exists, right?
Yeah.
Because a raft that they're pushing to shore.
It makes me think we're misinterpreting the soil that fell away.
But it says the soil fell away like waterfalls. But whoever wrote this knows of a waterfall.
That would mean that, like, the islands are...
That's true. They would have to know what a waterfall is.
Yeah.
It means they're watching the islands just, like fall.
I honestly I can't tell if it's ocean islands or if they're flying. I really can't.
I mean, this would make a lot more sense if these were islands that were floating around an ocean.
Yes, I agree.
Flying islands really kind of like puts a jab into this, because I would not know how to explain it.
I can understand how if there's water, interpret it that way.
I interpreted it that way when I read it, so I don't know how else to interpret it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if like there is this water, ocean, whatever that the raft is implying, then clearly it can't be Abana, because
it could be funny if it was just like the islands are earthquake prone and constantly just like mountains are like falling into this ocean.
I don't know. It's weird. I explain it.
Need clarification.
Yes.
If anything, I would almost think more towards like Hollow than I would.
I would think Hollow, or it can't be Gielinor, because Gielinor doesn't have two suns. So
right.
I mean, we don't know about Hollow's suns, and I don't think most of them. I don't think the islands float, other than New Domina.
But then you have to think like Hollow's like typically a cold planet. Are you having wildcats in a cold planet?
No, that's another reason why I don't think it's Hollow. Yeah. But like, it's the only one that like is closer.
Unless it's just a planet that we've never heard of.
Which is probably the most likely.
Probably.
Very easily.
Like, I feel like Osborne on Twitter would be more like, ooh, what planet could it be if it was a planet that we knew? Like, I feel like he would be excited to hear our theories about where it is more if he thought it was something we'd be able to figure out.
Yeah. True. So let's stop trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's probably going in a pointless circle.
It's just it's a weird point in the story where things kind of contradict themselves, unless it's just really weird physics.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving on.
Another thing that I really like is that they're defining another afterlife here on Gaza.
Yeah.
So we have the Gielinor ones, we have the Fremnik one, the Valhalla one, and now we have Hungaza. I like because I feel like we still have like the afterlife to explore and the underworld. Like we saw the smallest portion, but it's a very interesting, albeit confusing topic because it's the definition of it has kind of changed over the years since like Missing Presumed Death and then Nomad's Elegy. So
one thing I do want to compliment about this book, speaking of the afterlife, I really love the way the past couple of foreign, like, other world lore books have just dropped a word that you don't know into the text.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate when they do that because it gives a strong feeling of this book is foreign and you kind of have to just go with it.
Right. Yeah. It does.
I mean, it definitely felt that way with the German book.
It doesn't tie
more so.
It doesn't tie into every single thing
Like the way they write about certain words in here is very interesting. I love just when it says jale, like you just kind of assume it's a weapon based on how it's used in the descriptions, but
Which is funny, because Googling
It's
Shale
great.
gives absolutely no results.
Oh yeah,
so.
there's nothing.
It's not like some
But then
trial
saying
thing you
things
didn't know.
like saying things like mana instead of anima.
That I liked a lot.
I liked
yeah.
that, yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. Even though we know what mana is, anybody that enjoys
Well,
fantasy,
We know what
does.
mana is from, like, other games, that it's essentially anima.
But it's
Ferraco is
like-
my favorite mana guardian.
Guardian. Oh, Jesus.
Varambo. Varambo is my favorite mana guardian.
Serio, the mana guardian of the ocean.
Oh yeah, Sir Yu. He's great. I'm also a big fan of Solyak.
Oh boy.
He's related to Yaklager.
Oh. Oh, that one hurt.
Flashback.
Oh, Jesus.
So, final thoughts is excited for more?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely want them to explore this more.
I want to explore
In quests and not in not quest things.
In
please,
quests.
Osborne, please.
in that woodcutting temple.
I'm glad to finally get some story here,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm eager to receive some more developments on it in the future. This
Yeah.
seems really well written. It sparks a lot of interest, and there's a lot of potential theories that can come out of this.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally have the answer to the god with the name on the map thing, and that it is
Yeah.
Karazi. That's something we've been
It's
waiting
it's
for
funny
so
because
long.
it's a reveal that doesn't excite me in the slightest because everybody just kind of collectively
'Cause,
agreed.
Well,
Yeah,
we
it's
all
probably Karazi.
agreed. Yeah, no, it's probably Karazi because nothing else made sense unless it's the god of nothing interesting happens here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The god of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Walter just said, I agree with fully. He goes, it's a great book. It alone makes it a great update, even without a fairly good niche training method with no real issues added in. Like, I totally agree. It's a
Yay,
well done
no real
update,
issues.
very small scale, one really good book, one completely complaintless update.
Yeah.
I am ready
Nice.
for the heart attack bongo weapon, tier 99.
Yes, please.
Tier 99 heart
I've-
attack bongo.
I've always
That
wanted.
has to be what it's called.
Yeah. Bongos of heart beating. I don't know, but it's cool, and I really like it. Also, to further my tie between Papa Mambo and Karazi, necromancers would often drum to use the heartbeat of undead in African lore. A zombie, spelled with the I at the end, you actually use a drum to mimic the heartbeat for a zombie to keep it alive.
Mm.
So him being a drummer and Mambo being a necromancer.
Oh, something we wanted to talk about. So at the end of the book, they talk about how the three of them make statues for Gara-Dul.
Oh, yeah.
So these are presumably the Overgrown Idols, right?
A couple of...
I would assume so.
I think the Overgrown Idols are a couple of them. They're not all of them.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah, it's just like, if this was on a different planet, right? Why are they on Karamja?
They might have made more. They might have brought them with them.
Yeah, there's plenty of potential.
I mean, there's
answers here.
easy reasons. It just feels like,
You want these to be
Little
the
weird.
in a
original
sense,
ones.
it's like you kind of want these to be the ones that they made at this time that it's talking about. Them just being copies, just kind of is like, eh. But then I would have no way to tell you how Karamja would be the.
I think it leaves a nice little door open for they could make more of them with different buffs in the future.
Maybe.
Like as a quest reward, here's a couple more idols.
Yeah, I mean, it could work.
Even put different skills on them. Like burn the vines away. I don't know.
Also, speculation: how did Gara-Dul become a god? Question.
Oh, we're never gonna get that.
No, we're never
How
gonna
did
get that.
Jodo
Yeah.
Jodo Otaku.
become a
He
god?
killed Ebeb. That's already there.
Okay, but how did Ibab become a
How did Bob become a god?
By killing. This was in a QA after the update because they were talking about.
Yet another older god.
Yeah, they
How
were
did
talking.
that-
They were talking about the infinite regression thing, and it was like, oh, he killed the queen of starry whatever the fuck. He just made something out of his ass, and it was hilarious.
The queen of out of my ass.
Exactly.
You could keep going.
But yeah, it's
she
just one of
she
those.
killed Bob.
I don't think
Bob
Gara-Dul will
killed
ever
Charles.
actually be important.
No, it's not. So
No, it's not important.
Yeah. Except for it being the idol.
It's just something you know someone's going to throw out eventually. Like, oh, Gara-Dul killed the Queen of Ashes.
That because time travel.
Alright, well, anything else to say about this book?
Nope.
Nope. Alright, well then let's get over the rest of the show. Alright. Update of the year. Did it change?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Still.
It's still Solak, right? What?
Yeah.
This is a paint.
It's.
Yes.
No, it's definitely still.
Still the ambassador.
Still the
It's still
ambassador.
the-
Yeah.
It's still the Seekers, right?
It's still Suskia's endgame. It's just been that for 3 years now.
It's been perpetually the Lord of Vampirian.
Oh yeah.
It didn't even come out this year. It's still my update of the year.
Not wrong, but
No, I'm not.
Yep.
but yeah, still piece of hate. This
Yeah,
is
still pieces of hate. This is great, but
not
it's small scale. I would love to see more in this vein. Good job. Not my
Yeah, I
update
mean, this
of the
is
year.
definitely a good successor from the Zelda.
Quite
books,
honestly,
so.
if we get a lot of updates at this size, I imagine on our year-end list, we'll probably lump them all together into quality small skilling updates. or something like
Into lore books dropped randomly.
this
Updates.
is one
that.
of the
Lore books from small skilling updates.
This
Like,
is one of the
both
many,
are good things.
the many building block updates that are making 2018 actually pretty enjoyable.
I'm
Yeah.
loving this kind of stuff because while it's small and it doesn't personally affect me all that much, it's something that just further smooths out gaps in leveling for newer players.
Yeah.
Not that this is leveled for newer players, but as somebody progresses through the game.
Yeah,
I love this kind of stuff.
completely agree. Alright, guys, well, that has been the Podcast of Owls, episode number 14. Actually, it did end up being pretty short. Only 45 minutes.
Nice.
So,
Going vote.
yeah.
The fact we got probably a good 30 minutes out of that lore book is really quality.
Oh
It
yeah.
was a long book thing. Okay.
And there will definitely be another video on this once I catch up with Reading World. Promise. It is definitely coming.
Right after the quest
boy.
reviews of every quest in the game.
Oh
That
god.
is also definitely eventually coming.
I still have
In a year or two.
my notes for that on the old Ib Catcher.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
Jesus.
It was before that.
Alright. I have been Crondis. This has been Amascut and Avernic. And we
Bye,
will
folks.
see you guys next week.
Next.
Yeah, we'll have lots to discuss next week, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.